Salt Lake City, Utah, where the Jazz are looking to take one from an Eastern Conference opponent here at the Energy Solutions Arena. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and courtside Doris Burke. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So the Raptors 5 right now. The star pair of Lowry and DeRozan are the guards. Patterson is the 4 with Valanciunas in the middle. And it's Carroll in at small forward. It's stolen by Valanciunas. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
Toronto on defense. Here's Gobert. And that one is stuffed right through.
Make it 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that's right. You got it. And he was ultra safe with that dunk.
No reason not to be.
And guys, as he should be. Remove all doubt on that attack.
No good from Valanciunas. And in an era where so many guys take the money and run, Gordon Hayward did the best he could to live up to his new contract. Clark, last year, a 4-year max deal signed heading into last season.
Yeah, and the way max contracts work nowadays, even the upper mid-tier guys are getting it. A trend that will probably continue, at least in the near future. I don't like it, though. There are only a small number of guys that are really max contract players in the NBA.
Gobert, the pass to Hayward. Back to Gobert. Nice D from DeRozan.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Lowry kicks to Valanciunas. And there's the call on Gordon Hayward. That's his first foul.
And when you get back to Hayward, last year his points per game were way up. But really impressive, his shooting percentage. His shooting percentages were way, way up. That's a big step forward, I believe, in his development.
Shot clock at 2.
Not looking good for him so far. 4 straight misses to start the game.
He dishes it to Gobert. Here's Burke. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
You know, on the topic of whether Hayward is a true max prospect, he did some things last year to at least argue that he is. He was stronger, a lot more aggressive going to the rim. His defense improved, too. He'll need another year of development like that to silence the doubters.
Here's Burke. The Raptors knocking down the tray. To the paint. Favors, dishes to Gobert. The Jazz working the ball around now. That's good.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
Lowry kicks to Patterson. Outside DeRozan. Pass to Valanciunas. Lowry has the open look. And again, Toronto with the triple.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Burke, the pass to Hood. And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Here is Lowry. Down low. On the wing, DeRozan. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Kyle Lowry with a beautiful setup.
The feed now to Favors. Hayward against Carroll. Favors with a screen on Carroll. Hayward. No good.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there, and I'm sure he appreciated it.
Lowry dishes to Valanciunas. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Burke kicks to Gobert. Will it go? And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
Yeah, there was definitely some contact there on the three-point attempt.
You have to avoid fouls like that. As a defender, challenge the three-point shooter, but run by him, not into him.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Lyles checked in for Favors. Joe Ingles comes in for Gordon Hayward. Alec Burks checked in for Hood. And it's Dante Exum in for Burke.
Boy, I tell you, I thought the Jazz had a big year last season. Looked much tougher than before. A big part of that is how Coach Quinn Snyder helped the team grow. I mean, he looked like a perfect fit in his first year with the franchise.
Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for Gobert. You were mentioning the Jazz, and they grew last year under Coach Quinn Snyder in his first year. You know, Greg, he did the same thing with teams when he was a coach in the D-League.
That's a great point, Kevin. And beyond the growth that the Jazz showed, I think everyone in Utah was pleased with the style of play. I mean, Coach Snyder's got the team back to playing hard defense and really grinding out wins.
Ingles passes to Exum. Passes it to Lyles. Here's Burks. Pulls up. Releases from the wing and drills it. Toronto leading by 4. .139 left in the first quarter. Here's Biyombo. Ingles with the rebound.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D. Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
And Joseph kicks to Biyombo. Here's Ross. Here he comes, and there he goes.
Look at him punish that rack.
Check out the fellas. Check out his teammates over on the bench. So they are going crazy.
Now, here's Exum. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Toronto's gone 3 of 4 on three-pointers in the first quarter, doing well from long range. Kicks it to Scola. The pass to Joseph. Here's Powell. Misses the 3. Jazz trailed by 4. Exum dishes to Ingles, and he gets the bucket. Ingles has got his first basket.
And that lead pass allowed him to get straight to the rim, unabated in stride.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Scola passes to Ross. Screen by Scola. Ross kicks to Powell. Dishes it to Biyombo. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throw.
He hits the second from the line. Here's Booker. Excellent D there for Scola. At the end. And off we go. A close game now starting the second quarter. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Raptors.
They've definitely had a hot hand from three-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
Also, what passing we've seen from them here early. I mean, there could be a big number in the assist column if this keeps up.
So on the floor for Toronto to start this second quarter. Jonas Valanciunas is out there with Bismack Biyombo. Then it's Corey Joseph. Then there's Lowry. And it's Carroll in the small forward position. No good. Nice D from Valanciunas.
And for Kyle Lowry, last season was full of milestones. First, he signs the big contract extension for 4 years. Then he earns his first ever All-Star selection. Unfortunately, didn't finish as strong with the postseason, but a terrific year.
Look at that.
Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
I tell you what, I like that, though, guys. Some coaches might not want you to make a play like that, but I tell you what, when you got the skills like that, I say go for it.
Lowry dishes to Carroll. He kicks to Patterson. And DeMar DeRozan the bucket on the assist by Patterson. DeRozan's got his second basket of the game.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Raptors leading by 3. Lowry kicks to Patterson. Baseline try. That one off the back iron and out. And now Utah, fast break. Hayward leading the charge.
Pedal to the metal right now, really pushing it.
And 3 of their last 5 makes here coming in transition.
Lowry kicks to Patterson. Back to Lowry. Pass to Valanciunas. Out to DeRozan. And the shot is good. DeRozan's got 6 points.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
And though he's been working on his offensive skills, defense and rebounding are Valanciunas' bread and butter. That was the case with him when he was playing in Lithuania, Clark, and it's the case now.
It still sure is the case. I mean, it's hard to find a guy with his combination of size, athleticism, and fluidity. Just a tad over-aggressive at times, but I'd rather have to turn a guy down than to turn him up.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Jazz.
And watching Valanciunas rebound, it's clear he has all the tools. Great anticipation, really looks to box out. Strong vertical, might just need to add some strength to become a perennial 10-rebound-a-game guy.
Burke, he's checked in for Utah. Favors with a screen on Lowry. Here's Burke. And the rejection by Valanciunas. Toronto leading by 3.
And for Valanciunas, he's been working on his defensive consistency. Last year, he actually increased his blocks per game while lowering his fouls per game. That's a big step forward in his development.
Jazz have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Back to Favors. No one near him. And it's Toronto with the rebound.
Well, I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one you got to take.
Outside DeRozan. All alone. Jump shot is good. DeRozan's got 6 here in this quarter.
You know, he's putting on an outstanding offensive display, and he may just be getting warmed up here.
Gobert, the pass to Hayward. Feeds it to Favors. Gobert against Patterson. Favors. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
Here's Patterson. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
You know, Dwayne Casey was once a player at Kentucky, took me and hosted me on my recruiting visit at Kentucky back in 1979. Actually got his coaching start at the school as well.
So Utah ends up going with a new group. A new group in now for the Raptors. Luis Scola, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Ross comes in for DeMar Carroll. Powell, he's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Joseph in for Kyle Lowry. Powell dishes to Scola. Off the pick. And he comes off the screen and slams it through.
And, you know, that's an example of how many plays we have in a game for which there's no stat. A monster dunk coming off just a terrific pick play.
Greg, you're right. It really did work to perfection. Gave him all the room he needed for the flush.
Boy, that's a sound physical play. I mean, can't be afraid to put a shoulder into somebody every once in a while. It's a contact sport, folks.
As we were talking about Coach Dwayne Casey, he's found his place in Toronto. Took them, Greg, to back-to-back postseason appearances.
And, you know, it's good to see him finally establishing himself as a head coach. Really known as a defensive specialist, but once he gets in charge of a team, he'll have them focused on defense and really stresses that in every practice.
And the Jazz call time here.
Cannot be happy with how things have gone during this run. I think it's a good decision to take a break.
Yeah, I agree with you, Greg. I mean, he had to do something. They're getting buffaloed and beat up. He couldn't let that continue. He had to call the timeout there.
The Raptors making a switch here. Biyombo's checked in. Mack, the pass to Lyles to stop the run. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. Clark Lyles, one of the many great players to come out of Kentucky and be eligible for this draft. He didn't wow as much as his teammates. I'm telling you what, he can play.
He's got a lot of game. He's actually one of my sleepers, Kevin, because he can do everything well. He can handle it. He goes both ways. He can shoot it. He defends. Really good IQ. I like this guy as being a surprise producer as an NBA player.
The dish to Biyombo. One-on-one here. Here's Mack. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
And the offense has just operated really smoothly here in the open floor.
Yeah, and for them to reduce the lead, they should keep the pace brisk. I mean, that's how they've generated the highest quality shots.
Here's Biyombo. And it's going to be two free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And guys, with Lyles playing out of position can be a blessing and a curse. I mean, he didn't get to play in his comfort zone and put up big numbers, but his skill set grew from the minutes he had to spend outside of that comfort zone.
Tell you what I like about Lyles is that he has a bit of an old man game about him. He's an old head, plays within himself, good at every small intangible thing on the court, just has a real nice feel for how to play.
And Joseph kicks to Biyombo. Clock at 6. Here's Powell. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock.
Getting better and better. Got that field goal percentage up in the 60s now.
Clark, they've dialed it in here in the second quarter, playing really well.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
Shot by Joseph, no good.
And once he had to change his shot in the face of the D, you just had a feeling that one wasn't going to fall.
And Mack kicks to Ingles. There's the 3. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
And here is Joseph. It'll count. Got it off in time, but it's no good. And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. The Raptors out in front, up by 3. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter. And we welcome you back. Glad to have you with us as more basketball is on the way. During the break, the players getting refueled with Gatorade. They're looking amped up and ready to get going once again. You gotta like what DeMar DeRozan has done in this game.
Always been a dynamic scorer, and we saw in that first half the entire repertoire on display.
Yeah, he's a hard man to keep down, and so far they haven't found the answer for him. I don't know if there is an answer for him, quite honestly.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game.
We saw some good action from DeRozan. He has 8 points and 1 steal.
Favors and Gobert, the shot-blocking duo inside. Burke is out there with Hood, and it's Hayward in at the 3 slot. That's the group right now for Utah. Lowry dishes to Valanciunas. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. Here's Valanciunas. No good. So Utah will take it the other way. Here's Hood. Count the basket and the foul. That one on DeRozan.
They're amped up now, Kevin. After trailing for so long, they finally pulled ahead.
The Jazz shooting the 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight.
And guys, as many rookies do, Rodney Hood hit some major bumps in the road last season. I mean, he came in with a reputation of having an NBA-ready jumper, yet only hit 41% of his shots. He had that foot injury that kept him out for a string of games. However, it really all came together for him in April, the last month of the season.
Raptors have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. Left side Lowry. To the inside. And the rejection by Favors.
It has not been an ideal start to the second half. They've missed 3 of their first 4.
Hood gets the bucket.
That pass into the paint, that is a work of art there, dead on target.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
And the Jazz pushing it up now. That's good. Now it's a 5-point Jazz lead.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
1 for 5 on offense. A slow start here in the second half.
Favors can't get it to go.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Pass to Patterson. And it's Carroll in the corner. Shot clock at 6. And DeRozan kicks to Valanciunas. And the Raptors miss again.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yes, indeed.
Patterson. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Patterson's got 5 now. To the middle. And there's a nice one-handed slam.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Left side Lowry. And DeRozan. Here we go. No good. Now the Jazz take it the other way.
I love the anticipation defensively there to get into the perfect spot.
Toronto was a strong team on the road last season, Clark. A big part of why they came away with 49 wins on the season.
And 22 of those 49 wins were on the road. As a group, they managed to keep things close on the road. And because of that competitiveness, they were over 500 there as well.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Alec Burks checked in for Hood, and it's Exum in for Burke. Raptors trail by 10. And Joseph kicks to Patterson. He feeds it to Powell. Step back shot. Off the left rim and out.
And as you said, the Raptors kept things close on the road. In the NBA, they had one of the better point differential in terms of victories on the road last season.
DeRozan passes to Joseph. Back to DeRozan. He dishes it to Biyombo. And again, no good by Toronto.
most of the time that shot will go down. Or the defenders have to make sure they tag him. And you mentioned this, I mean, with the Raptors. Only Golden State, Atlanta, and the Clippers had a better road margin of victory than them. Just goes to show you how tough the Raptors were on the road last season.
And Patterson kicks to Powell. Toronto working the ball around now. Stolen by Exum. Here's Hayward. And he banks in the layup. Hayward's got 6 points in the quarter. And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for Utah.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, but they've also done a great job of playing in space, getting out in transition every opportunity. And it's all one-way traffic tonight, boy. They have been lights out offensively.
And there's no telling how big that lead's going to get. But, again, it's just one game, but nonetheless a very impressive one, the way they've handled their business here.
And the Raptors call time here.
And for Dante Exum, first point guard chosen in the 2014 draft, number 5 overall, actually. He was taken over 2 other very talented and arguably more proven point guards coming in. Those being Marcus Smart and Elfrid Payton.
And Utah making a change here. Lyles checked in. Luis Scola, he's checked in for the Raptors. Terrence Ross comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And there's the feed to Joseph. Stolen by Exum. And the foul called on Bismack Biyombo. That's his first foul. And talking about Dante Exum last year, he showed scouts were right when they said he isn't a finished product. He only shot 35% from the field. Put up much smaller numbers than other top rookie point guards like, Smart and Payton.
But looking 3 or 4 years out, you may be singing a different tune. And, Kevin, I think that's what the projections are when you look at this young man. He has length. There's a smoothness and a feel for the game that's raw, but still elite. That's why many scouts would still today take him over any other point guard in that draft.
Offensive rebound. Out to the wing. Here's Scola. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And there's the call. Utah the foul.
And for Luis Scola, a very different role for him over the last 2 years. I mean, he was a starter for most of his career, then signed with Indiana, who had David West at the 4. Off the bench, though, Scola still played efficiently, but he was just used to putting up much bigger numbers for other teams.
Exum kicks to Gobert. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Like you were talking about Scola, he has the physical skills, Clark, to make a difference.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, he's not spectacular in anything, but he's really solid in just about everything. A pro's pro, and he adds value, tremendous value to any team he's on.
Valanciunas, he's checked in for Luis Scola. Passes it to Joseph. Kicks to Powell. From the arc. Utah with the rebound. Gobert's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Burks, the pass to Lyles. Dishes it to Burks. And it takes him in the corner. Lets it go from deep. Can't get it to go. Fast break Toronto. Got it up. And that's not going to go. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Jazz lead by 16. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Energy Solutions Arena in Salt Lake City. And we're getting underway here in the 4th quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. On the court for Toronto to start the 4th. Lowry and DeRozan are the guard tandem. Patterson is the 4 with Valanciunas in the middle. And it's Carroll in at the 3. Valanciunas, good.
They have got to put a body on it, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
Favors passes to Lyles.
threw it down with authority.
Oh, he can really fly. And you combine that, Clark, with some of the nice penetration, too, and you've got an easy 2 points.
And able to just play well above the rim. I mean, that makes this guy so dangerous when he's in the game.
Booker, he's checked in for Lyles. Here's Lowry. Now the pass to Valanciunas. The shot from the low post is good. Valanciunas has got 4 points this quarter. Jazz leading by 14. Burke kicks to Hayward. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Lowry kicks to Valanciunas. And stolen by Booker. Pass break. Here come the Jazz. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Looking at the game for Hayward, he's got 14 points and 3 assists. Talk about on fire. Nearly everything's going in for him right now.
He's just got that touch, that magic touch right now.
Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Utah.
You know, there are those who wonder if Gordon Hayward can lead a team to the promised land. However, as just a sophomore, he led a non-powerhouse college to a championship game. So, in fact, they were just 1 basket away from winning it all.
Jazz leading by 15. Second minute off the clock now in the 4th. Now here's Burke. While recovering. 6 to shoot. Burke dishes to Hood. And the shot falls short this time.
The defense needs to play tight on him, and that's exactly what they did to force that miss. Well done.
Here's the break. And here we go. Hayward passes to Gobert. Tipped away. He kicks it to Hayward. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the 4th quarter. To the middle. And then Favors with the dunk.
And you could see that dunk coming from a while away. I mean, he lives for those moments.
And so do all of his fans. He doesn't disappoint. Clark, when he's got a clear path to the bucket, he's going to do something, you know, special.
And, Kevin, you're right. He definitely had a clear path on that one. Very little defense being played right there.
Utah timeout call.
Utah calls timeout.
You know, I think he just wants to tinker with the game plan a little bit. And I think that's a wise timeout.
And part of it, too, Greg, was he saw some things going on out there that he didn't care for.
Utah was so tough near the end of last season, Greg. They weren't going to make the playoffs, but they did give other teams some trouble.
That's a great point. And how about going 19-10 after the All-Star break? Another team that would have been in the playoffs if they were in the East.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will retain possession.
Utah ball.
And you could tell that pass just hung in the air for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Long enough for him to get a hand on it and knock it out of play.
And so the ball out of bounds. Gobert touched it last.
Raptors ball.
And, you know, for the Jazz, you mentioned their post-All-Star break surge. I mean, that 19-10 record they had after the break was good enough for 6th best in the league.
Lowry kicks to Patterson. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
Yeah, foolish play. He's got to be thinking out there.
Which he clearly wasn't on that play. Or maybe he was thinking just about something other than basketball.
Well, speaking of thinking, back home, guys, we call that a good old-fashioned brain freeze. And really, the Jazz were a team nobody wanted to play after the break. They were over 500 against the rest of the West and had some big wins over playoff teams in the process.
A look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Yep, they'll be trying to draw that next foul quickly so they can start getting those easy chances at the stripe.
Favors attacking. Hood. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Jazz lead by 19.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today?
Carroll dishes to Patterson. And stolen by Hayward. Here's Favors. Hayward kicks to Gobert. Out to the right wing. To the inside. Here's Burke. Nice ball movement by Utah. Just 2 to shoot. Offensive rebound. Favors. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That's on Patrick Patterson.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there. Earned those free throws.
You know, Clark, the thing you like about Derek Favors is he keeps adding to his game every year. You forget how young he is, too.
That's exactly right. We need a reminder. This guy came into the league very early, right after a year of college. Seems like he's been around forever.
Dante Exum is checked in for Trey Burke. Raptors trail by 21. Lowry kicks to Patterson.
Utah foul call.
And what Patrick Patterson gives you guys is solid all-around play. He can help you in a lot of areas. High basketball IQ, high character, understands his role, knows his limitations, and stays within himself.
And Patterson drops them both.
Boy, perfect half at the free throw line for him. That'll help their comeback effort for real.
And Clark, those free throws need to continue if they're going to get back in this game. Really a heads-up play on both ends there. The steal and the quick push on the break.
Rapid-fire basketball at its best. Boom, 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 bang.
And going back to Patterson for just a moment, he's been lauded for his mature approach. Ever since high school in West Virginia, he was involved in a highly publicized recruiting battle between Florida and Kentucky, ultimately choosing the latter.
Yeah, and you know, the part of his game, Kevin, that he's really worked on is his ability to face up and shoot. Really starting to evolve into a guy that can space the floor, that space four. And when he's hitting that jumper at a high percentage, I think his value to the team goes up exponentially.
And so here's Toronto. Outside DeRozan. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Valanciunas. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Jazz leading by 17. Now here's Exum. While recovering, they set the pick. Here's Hood. DeRozan defending. Offensive rebound. Favors can't get it to go.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling. And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Jazz.
You know, a team can have a great shooting night without getting a lot of assists, but tonight, Clark, they had both.
They sure did. I mean, the ball was moving and guys were knocking down shots.
Just a quality win, and you look at the box score and some really good numbers for Gordon Hayward. Every inch of the floor was his tonight as he came out and injected an energy into every play.
There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That will get him his 4th foul of the game, and due to the bonus, we'll head to the line for 2.
Derek Favors.
You know, as I watched Derek Favors last season, he continued to develop his offense. He was a big, unpolished athlete coming into the league, had some conditioning problems, but now it seems like he's on track to be a force as a power forward.
Looking at who's out there now for the Jazz. Lyles checked in for Gobert. Joe Ingles comes in for Gordon Hayward. Alec Burks checked in for Hood. And Shelvin Max subbed in for Dante Exum. And the Jazz making a change here. Booker's checked in. Now Ross. And the foul called on Terrence Ross. That is his first foul of the game. Talking about Derek Favors, his points per game average went up last season, as it is done in each of his 6 seasons in the league. He's an ascending player.
He has, definitely refined his moves down on the blocks, and he's also become much improved at passing out of the double team, averaging a career high in assists last season as well. The arrow is certainly pointing up for Mr. Favors.
Good on the second free throw. 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Powell. Burks covering. Four on the clock. Here's Powell. Can't connect. And so it's Utah easily grabbing the win. They poured it on tonight, Clark. A dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
I don't think they have anything but positives to take away from this win. Offensively, defensively, every aspect of the game, it all went right for them.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you.